We're moving into footwork and balance in the frontal plane for injury prevention. You're going to need your heaviest loop band, and we're going to come sit in a chair with the heaviest loop band around our metatarsals for some eversion footwork. The arms are going to come into a prayer position, interlacing your fingers together like a choir. And this is the root chakra, one of the root chakra positions of the hands. So the fingers are interlaced like so, chest height, and make sure the band is around your toes. Now you're going to pull out on the hands, engaging your upper back, plugging the shoulders down. We're going to evert our dominant foot from the ankle joint on our exhale as you're pulling out on the hands, and as you bring that foot back to parallel, you can let up on the pull out of the hands. So exhale, pull out on the hands and move from the ankle joint, not from the knee, hip flexor, or quadricep, and back to center. Very small motion. 4 counts to go out on your exhale. 4 counts to come in on your inhale. Waking up these feet because the lateral intrinsic muscles are weak. That's why we pronate when we have lordosis. So we really want to combat that. This is an injury prevention tool to work your feet. So give me a couple more here. It's very tedious, but I'm trying to involve your back too so that you stay lifted and you don't slouch. Plug the shoulders down. Keep your eyes up a little higher than eye level. Okay, on our next one, switch sides. You can switch the grip so the other hand's on top, pulling out, engaging your shoulder blades, shoulder blade anchor, pulling the shoulder blades together, shrugging the shoulders down the back, taking the gaze up a little higher than eye level. And notice that the band is around my baby toes, so it's not all the way in the arch of the foot. It might hit a bit of the arch, but you definitely can encourage that baby toe to move and move from the ankle joint. So taking it out and bringing it in slowly. Give me 2 more on this side. Take your time. Take it out and bring it in. And last one, sitting up tall, pull out on those arms, engage your upper back, pull the belly in towards the spine. Great. We're going to take our lightest loop band around our ankles and a 3-pound weight in your dominant hand to start. Now, if you have balance issues, I'd advise doing this by a wall, bar, or counter for safety purposes. If not, you can do it in the center with me. But with osteoporosis, if you really do have osteoporosis or osteopenia, I would do it by a wall. So I'm going to demonstrate it by a wall for safety purposes because we don't want you falling. So you're going to have your weight and just rest it on your shoulder. We're moving in the frontal plane. So step a foot away from the wall because you're going to step towards the wall, and make sure the weight is closest to the wall. So if you need to turn around so that it's in your dominant hand and you're closest to the wall, because you're going to step onto that inside leg, bringing the outside leg into a hamstring kickback. The arm that's loaded, once you're in that isometric hold, that hamstring kickback, we're going to inhale, lift the arm up, 2, 3, 4 into a shoulder press, and exhale, lower it down, 2, 3, 4. Other hand can do the motion without being loaded, or it can be behind the head or hand on the hip. Your choice. Make sure the arch of the foot is in the band and you're doing a kickback just like we did on all 4. Straight leg behind you. Inner thighs can be close. Pull the low belly in. Find neutral pelvis as much as possible with this leg extended behind you. Great. Let's repeat on that side one more time before we switch sides. So staying loaded on that side with the arms, step away from the wall, step to your balance in the frontal plane, find it, kick back into the band, isometric hold with the lower body, and then subtle movement with the upper body as you take that press overhead and you lower slowly. Make sure the palm is facing in towards the face, shoulders staying plugged down the back as the arm goes up on the inhale and it lowers down on the exhale. Okay, switching sides. Set up on the second side. Step to balance. So this is for injury prevention. Challenge yourself. Really travel through space. Find it. As the arm goes up, the pelvis pulls down in opposition. As the arm goes down, the low belly pulls in and the pelvic floor muscles lift up. Again, as you press up, your focus stays up higher than eye level so we don't get that forward chin. Shoulders plugged down. Last time, step to balance. Repeating. 3 presses at that slow tempo. Here we go. Inhale, lift. 2, 3, 4, exhale, lower, 2, 3, 4, inhale, lift, 2, 3, 4, exhale, lower, 2, 3, 4, one more, inhale, 2, 3, 4, and exhale, 2, 3, 4. Great. So we're going to grab our heaviest loop band and bring it back around our outer thighs. We're going to need a yoga block. The foam yoga blocks are the best for pinning the trigger ball. We're going to be working into the fascia of the chest area, the pecs, the front of the shoulders. We're going to lie supine on our foam roller to engage our lower abdominals as we're doing this. Now, if you're nervous about lying on the foam roller and you did our ab series on the floor, you can always do this lying on your back on the floor. Both are great. So from here, our legs are solidly planted, hip distance apart for safety purposes, neutral pelvis. We're going to take the trigger ball into the fascia of your chest. So try to avoid bones and try to be very gentle as you're doing this because, the bone density is such that we don't want to dig in too hard. We don't want to run the risk of hurting anything. So as you move into the V-neck line, extra precaution of just being gentle, getting into those muscle fibers, circular motion around the shoulder, above the chest. And especially on your dominant arm side, you're going to notice there's going to be a lot more knots and tension due to the overuse of that side and the kyphosis. So make sure you're breathing. Inhale. Sending oxygen to those muscles as you're digging into those knots. And dig in with being safe. Don't go too hard. Should feel like a nice, gentle massage. Breathe into that. Relax your facial muscles. Keep checking in that your belly's pulled in, that your pelvis is neutral, that your legs are pulling out on that band, hip distance apart. And if you're on one side, go ahead and switch to the other so we can even it out. Digging in, breathing as you're working here. We've got another 40 seconds for you to dig into this muscle fibers. And if you feel like you've gotten the knots out, you can always move into a cactus position and do some overhead presses. But I'd encourage you to keep moving around. Even near the armpit, there is fascia around there that can get really tender and cause neck issues. So you can play around with that, almost on the side of the breast. And breathe into that. Just another 10 seconds. Dig in, and then we're going to slowly make our way off of the roller. Great. From here, I'm going to have you flip around, and we're going to roll out our quadriceps. We're going to keep this band around our outer thighs, and we're going to grab our lightest band and put it around our upper arms above the elbows. As you're rolling your quadricep, I want you to pull out on this band a little bit, engaging your upper back, pushing down and out into the forearm so you don't collapse. Rolling above the knees and all the way up to the hip flexors, walking forward and back. Point the toes here. Try to not dump into the abdomen, so pull the abdomen in, puff your upper back up. And let's kick your right heel towards your butt 2 times. Kick, kick, and switch. Kick, kick, and switch. One more time. Kick, kick, and switch. Good. Kick, kick, switch. Find another spot that's tender. Walk forward or back on the roller. And now we'll repeat. Kick, kick, and switch. Kick, kick, and switch. Kick, kick, and switch. One more time. Kick, kick, and switch. Last time. Kick, kick, and switch. Kick, kick, and switch. Kick, kick, and switch. Kick, kick, and switch. Great work.